Welcome back to AI Explained Simply, and today we are going to be covering lessons. So, how we teach AI to remember corrections, and more importantly, why AI isn't actually just learning. Okay, so here's the fundamental problem with AI assistants, right? They have no memory between sessions. So, let's take for instance, right? You're talking to an AI and it gives you the wrong URL format, and you correct it, and it says, "Thanks, I'll remember that." And it does, but it only remembers that for the rest of that specific conversation. And then the next day, you start a new chatbot and it makes the same mistakes because the model doesn't actually remember anything. Every session starts from zero. And this is where lessons actually come in. So, the mechanism is quite simple. When you correct the agent and you say, that URL format is incorrect, the correct one is this, the agent calls a save tool. This writes your correction to a JSON file, whether in the disk or in the cloud. And then the next time you start a session, the agent is able to load all of the saved corrections into that conversation's context. Now, the agent can see your rule and then follow it. Think about it kind of like writing a sticky note and then putting it on the AI's desk in the morning. The AI now reads the note and then it follows it. But then, if you remove the notes, it forgets it. So the correction is stored in a simple JSON file and the rule text and the category and sometimes a timestamp. Nothing fancy, it's quite simple. And I'll give you a real example, right? So there was an agent that was converting timestamps incorrectly, and I told it that, hey, it's actually, April instead of July, and then I corrected it. I'm like, no, I'm actually in Europe. We use a different timestamp encoding mechanism, and then it essentially would save this as a lesson, and then from that point onwards, in every session, it'll run the actual calculation. And yeah, so each correction needs to only happen once, and the lesson persists pretty much until you delete it. And in all honesty, there are some limitations within lessons, and I'll be honest, right? It's not essentially real learning. The model itself doesn't change. For example, in Claude, it's still the same model before and after a correction. But what changes is the text that gets injected into the conversation, right? So it's a rules list, right? And then more lessons will always mean more tokens in every message. So it's going to cost a bit more. And it only works if your agent actually loads them in at the start of each session. But either way, despite these limitations, it's very, very effective, for corrections and preferences, right? Okay, always do X, never do Y. It works perfectly. One correction and it's a permanent fix. And in our follow-up session, we're going to talk about memory and kind of how AI keeps track of your conversation and then what happens, whenever you close the browser, right? Or open up a new agent. And I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.